So it would seem that there's a new Superman movie in the works over at Warner Brothers. They've brought on J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates. J.J. Abrams to direct the movie and Ta-Nehisi Coates to pen the movie. Now, as for J.J. Abrams, I think we're all pretty well familiar with him, right? Lost, Star Wars, Star Trek. J.J. Abrams seems like a very reasonable choice to be attached to a new Superman movie, so I'm not really going to go into the J.J. Abrams side of things. However, a lot of people really don't know who Ta-Nehisi Coates is, so in a nutshell, he's a journalist and he's also an author. He has written various characters in the Marvel Universe, including Captain America, and I think his most prominent character is actually Black Panther, so he is not completely unfamiliar with the world of comic books. Now, while very little is known about this project at this point, because it is so early in its development, we do know that it's entirely plausible that Henry Cavill will not be returning to the role as Superman, because as of yet, nobody has been announced as cast in the iconic role of Kalel. And you'd figure if they were going to let the news fly that a new Superman movie is in the works, with the director and the writer already attached to it, you would figure that they would already have their star in place if it was going to be someone that already previously played the role. Personally, I feel like Cavill is going to get Rothed, as in they're just going to be completely rebooting the franchise, as is being currently reported on all of the online entertainment news media sources. Again, at this point, why would they be announcing a new Superman movie that Henry Cavill is attached to, and yet not tell us that Henry Cavill is going to be taking up the role of Superman again? But just because no one has been announced to be cast in that role doesn't mean that it won't be Henry at this point. We honestly don't know. All we can do is speculate. And speaking of speculation, another point that fans and news media outlets alike have been speculating about is as to whether Ta-Nehisi Coates will be penning a black-led Superman story, or a classically white Superman. This is for good reason, because Ta-Nehisi Coates has a lot of Black Panther under his belt, and we do see diversity becoming something that is more the norm in television, movies, and comic books. And also, it would not be a completely inaccurate depiction, comic book-wise, from the source material of Superman, because those of us who have been reading Superman comics for a long time know that there are many other versions of Superman in the multiverse, some of which are black. Some are Kalel, and some, as with the New 52's Earth 2 Society comic book, a black fella named Val-Zod actually stepped in to fill the role of Superman after Clark died. So it wouldn't be completely comically inaccurate. I think, personally, my standpoint as to whether I feel like this would be a good idea or not for a black Superman, I'm not going to pretend that I don't see race. I see people. I love people, and I want all people to succeed, no matter who you are, no matter what your creed, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, anything like that. I feel like people should be given a chance to do good and to be better, and a chance to shine. I think you guys all know that I'm all for more diversity in the areas of gender identity, sexuality, ethnicity, you name it. More diversity is a good thing. It's a big world, and it takes all kinds. However, where I draw the line, my standpoint is I'm not a huge fan of when they begin swappage. Gender swapping, race swapping, sexuality swapping, ethnicity swapping. I'm not really a fan of that. I don't like it when existing characters who have paid their dues are then sacrificed on the altar of forced diversity. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Diversity for diversity's sake is not a good thing. Diversity for the sake of telling better, more diverse, more relatable, more accessible stories to all kinds of people is a good thing. When you take existing characters and change them up to appease certain people, you just end up alienating other fans who have been around for generations. So my answer to that problem is always take existing characters of different sexuality, ethnicity, and gender identity, and then push them forward. And if they don't exist, then create them, and then push them forward. And if you write them well enough, the fans may or may not latch onto them. We do know that you can have characters of different gender that work, because we have the first female Green Lantern with Jessica Cruz, and she's a fan favorite. We do know that characters of different ethnicity / religion can work, because we have Simon Baz as a Green Lantern, and he's the first Arab / Muslim Green Lantern character, and he's a fan favorite. We know that characters of different sexualities and sexual identities can work, because we have Obsidian, who is a gay character, Batwoman, who is a lesbian character, both of which are well received by the fans. And then even in Future State, we have the Future State version of Flash, who was on the Justice League, who is a non-binary character. And I think that that character does very well. We have a Wonder Woman character in Yara Flor, who is the first Brazilian Wonder Woman, and it works. Why do they work? Because you haven't had to sacrifice other existing characters that have paid their dues on the altar of a forced diversity agenda. It should be the more the merrier, not let's take an existing character and put him on the chopping block. So to bring it back around, could this be a thing going forward in the DC film universe? Could we see a completely rebooted Black Superman? Yeah. It's entirely possible, and if they do it right, and if they are respectful of the legacy of Superman, it could be a wonderful story that they tell. But like I said, at this point, it's all speculation, and if I keep talking, I'm really just going to keep speculating, because I don't know anything. I know as much as you know, because very little has been revealed. At this point, I remain hopeful that we are going to receive a fantastic Superman movie, regardless of who is in the boots and cape, and regardless of where this Superman fits into the current, or maybe he doesn't fit into the current DC film universe. It really does remain to be seen. I mean, the Flash movie hasn't even been released yet, and we know that's going to be a multiversy type timey-wimey sort of film, with Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman alongside Ben Affleck as Batman again. So at this point, anything is possible. Anything is possible. But anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully you found this video to be a useful, enlightening, entertaining, insightful waste of time for the period that you've been on my channel. If you did, you know where all the buttons are that do all the stuff, and I will see you with the next one. Have a fantastic, super awesome day, DC friends, and I'll catch you with the next one. DC friends. You're super friends. You're not DC friends. I mean, you are DC friends, but I call you super friends. I don't call you DC friends.